Hello everybody, it's Mr. Leeks here. Before we start reading our first book today, it's important that we just look at some keywords that come up in the text, just so that you have a better understanding of what those words mean. And so I'm going to share my screen now so you can see what I'm talking about. You should have your Key Stage 2 English Comprehension book in front of you. And today we're going to start looking at Harriet's Hair, which is on page 2. But before we start reading that book, we're going to look at some words that come up. These words, it'd be really great for you to know how to spell them and also to use them in the correct context. That's what we're going to try and do before we start reading in this spelling vocab session. The first word we're going to look at is crop. Now, crop is could be a plant or a vegetable. And in this case, we have something called wheat, which we can see, which could be used to be grown, harvested, and turned into food. So crops can be eaten, and they can be grown. The second word is hair. Now, hair is spelled H-A-R-E. It's referring to an animal, and it's a rabbit-like creature. It's a bit bigger, and it's much faster. That's a hare. The third word is harvesting, the root word here being harvest. Now, I mentioned that word a moment ago. So a harvest could be field of crops, and harvesting could be cultivating them and using them for food. A wheat field. Again, can you see the root word wheat? W-H-E-A-T, and then field. So a wheat field is a field with wheat in it that you could harvest. The next word is dewy. Now, dew, being the root word here, means when crops or plants or any kind of foliage can be wet in the morning. Sometimes you may have seen this if you get up early. It's called morning dew. Bird song. Again, if you look at the root word, you could kind of guess what this word is. B-I-R-D-S-O-N-G, literally a song that's made by a bird. So if we look at this YouTube clip, you can hear it. Beautiful. And that's bird song. Finally, the word extracted, again, the root word here is extract, E-X-T-R-A-C-T, means to take from something. And if you look at some of your stories in the non-fiction extracts in this book, literally means one small part of a whole novel or a bigger story. So an extract means part of a whole. Something's been taken out. Okay, so that brings us to the end of those words. Now, what I'd like you to do is to write some of these words down on a piece of paper. And if possible, can you spell them correctly? And a special challenge would be to write one of those words in a sentence that makes sense. So I'm going to model one of those, and I'm going to use the word, let's see, hair. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to just show you. You can use a pen and paper. I'm going to use a whiteboard and pen. Only it's easy to show you. So the word hair. Now, what was the spelling? It was H-A-R-E. I can remember the spelling, and so now I'm going to see if I can write that word in a sentence. Oh, simple sentence, the dog chased the hare. So I've got the correct spelling of hare, and I've used that word in the correct context. So I'd like you to have a go now with the other words. and try to remember the meaning as we go in to read the story after this session. Good luck, everybody.